Dr. Naomi Johnson Booker, who's the CEO of Global Academy, lends her voice to raise the awareness of the crisis that we're facing now. Dr. Booker, it's a pleasure to have you and welcome to WURD. Fewer bus drivers being available, but what we really want to drill down on is how is this impacting children and families in our schools?
So I heard the gentleman prior talking about the plight of the drivers, and I totally agree with him in terms of the cost and the fee and what they're doing. But the impact of all of this falls on the children in the city of Philadelphia, charter school and public school. And for us right now, we are, I guess, on the bottom of the tier. And so first thing is that my parents got 2-week notice that they were changing our school time and that also there's bus time. So I have children that were identified to be on the bus pickup at 5 o'clock in the morning. First grader, second grader, third grader. 5 o'clock in the morning, it's pitch dark, number one.
Oh, man.
Number two, the school district does not put a bus matron on the bus. So, again, you hear him talking about they don't have drivers. Well, right. So what's going to happen? One driver comes up one morning, child gets on, a little 6-year-old. Do I know that man? No. The next day or a day or two later, they have to put another driver there because that one's not working. And this happens all the time. This is pre-pandemic. This is not so. I don't want to say that this is. Oh yeah, this is not something that is just to after the pandemic. We have had nothing but problems with the bus service with the school district, and we get a subsidy from the state, and they take a percentage of our subsidy, and 30% of that subsidy or whatever the percentage they want to give you. We don't get it all. They keep it, and part of it is to pay for bus service.
Wow. I mean, yeah. I didn't know that they took a part of your subsidy. I just assumed that it was a part of the budget for the school district.
No. They take a part of our subsidy. So if the if the state sends $1,000 per kid, they take 1/3 of it.
So what?
I should be able to protect my children with bus service. I should be able to pick them. I should be able to have some kind of control over that, and we don't.
So what do you envision? I know that you're a part of a coalition and that you've been talking about it. What do you see as a solution, both long-term and short-term? Because we're in a crisis right now. We've got children standing on corners with nobody picking them up, children at school waiting and nobody picking them up. What's the short-term? What's the long-term solution?
Well, I was supposed to have 8 buses, okay, and we started on Monday. 4 buses did not come. 4 buses did not pick up my children waiting out on the corners. 4 buses, and when we called the district, the comment was, we can't help you. We don't know what to do, and you work it out. How can I work it out if I don't have control of the buses? In the long run, what I would like to see is I would like for the charter schools to be allowed to have contracts with their own bus company. That way we don't have to go through the district. They don't have to pay these drivers or whatever else or mix us up with their problem with this to try to get bus service for their children. No. Let me be allowed to have contracts with our own bus companies, and we could band together. So the charter schools that are around me, there might be 3 to 4 of them, and we could do it together.
Well, who could greenlight that solution for you?
Well, when I talked with the school district, I was told that we were sent a letter about it. I never saw the letter. I asked my colleagues, CEOs, I asked the coalition. Nobody ever saw the letter. So I asked them to send me the letter. And I haven't heard from the letter. Supposedly, we're supposed to be able to do it, but nobody has seen the letter.
Wow. For those of you joining us, we're speaking with the CEO of Global Academies. She's also a member of the African American Charter School Coalition, Dr. Naomi Johnson Booker, about the current crisis of not having enough school buses. You just, not school buses, but school bus drivers. You shared with us just now that your school was 50% short of conveyance as you were starting your classes?
Yes. 50%. We're supposed to have 8 buses bring our children, and we had only 4 showed up. and they didn't show up in the afternoon to even take them home. So I had to send out an emergency call to my parents to let them know that there would be no bus service.
I mean, I know that you know. Yeah, we look. It doesn't. It goes without saying that that's an unacceptable state of affairs right there. Are you noticing? I mean, you know your children. Are you noticing that if this is adding any extra trauma, anxiety to the educational endeavor, particularly as it concerns children sitting in classrooms?
So I can't say that I noticed it at this point, but I can say to you that right now, many of my parents, that's where the trauma is settling in, because they have jobs. And if you're saying that I have to put my child on the corner at 5 o'clock in the morning, or I have to leave my child on the corner at 6, and I have to worry about whether the bus is going to come, and that's what they're not willing to do. I had a parent tell me that if this doesn't work out, she may have to take her child to another school, and that's non-negotiable for her because her child has been at GLA for the last 5 years, and for her to have to move her because it is not able to have bus service, she lives too far. I have one bus, and I have a driver, and what we are doing, we have gotten some checkpoints. We can't do door-to-door, but we're allowing some of our parents to actually come to the Wawa, or I know one place is over by Girls High, bringing their children there at certain times and be able to use the bus. It is a traumatic situation, period. You know, they are entitled. They are supposed to have service to the school they're going to. And if you live a mile and a half away from a school, you're supposed to get it, be it the school district or a charter school.
Well, no, which location are you speaking of where your children where you are the CEO, Dr. Booker?
I am the CEO of Global Leadership on 46th and Girard Avenue.
On Girard, yeah, okay. Because I know there's.
School, Yeah, the other school is Global Leadership Academy Southwest. That's our sister school. And I'm
on Pine
the
Street?
executive director there, Pine Street, 5200 Pine. And Dr. Tamika Evans is the CEO there.
You know, many people forget that students who go to our charter school, that they are still public school students as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, do the majority of your children need busing to get to school? Because we know that charter schools are not simply neighborhood schools and that sometimes you have children from other areas. What percentage of your children need to be bused to get to school?
Well, at the site on Girard Avenue, approximately 60% of my children take bus service.
Wow.
And then the other school is more of a catchment school. So most of our children that take bus service are special services, special needs.
Okay. Is there a perception or a feeling somehow or another, particularly from the perspective of members of the African American Charter School Coalition, do you have the feeling that somehow or another that the school district might be less concerned? I'm not trying to put thoughts in your head or words in your mouth, but is there a perception that the school district does not quite have the same level of concern for your plight as they might for district schools?
Yes, there's a definite concern regarding that.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't just relate to transportation either.
I just wanted to apologize for driving in front of the T-shot.
I see. So in the short term, we've got a situation now where they're trying to give parents money to get the students back and forth. Is that helping? And in the short term, in Massachusetts, they've trotted out the National Guard. Is that a workable solution from your perspective?
It may be a workable solution, but the issue is that in terms of timing. So if you get something that's 2 weeks before school is supposed to start, do you have time to file for it? And, of course, my parents, they said when they went online, they were told no, that they could not file. It was too late. Now, I just got an email that they said that Saturday is the last day to apply for this $300 a month if you use your own driving to school or whatever it is that you use.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the SEPTA passes, which are, I think, they're trail passes, and the young people can get those. But again, you're on SEPTA bus. Listen, we're in the middle of a pandemic, okay? And we are a school that is taking very close look at how we're operating, how we're going to be we're in a hybrid model, how we're trying to protect our children. And so there are parents who don't want to put their child on a SEPTA bus, crowded on a SEPTA bus. I have friends of mine that are even using their school district buses, and they're crowded. The kids are crowded over on the bus. So, I mean, are we aware that our most vulnerable children are being put in a position to get into a situation where they could catch COVID?
We're in a position, Dr. Booker, where we had a year of no school, where children had to figure out how to learn in the setting of their home. And then we come back, everyone's trying to figure out, can we strike a new normal? And now we encounter this. What does this presage as far as educational outcomes are looking? I mean, we've got hybrid models in our schools. We're still in the pandemic. We're finding that young people whom at one point we thought were relatively safe from the coronavirus, we're finding that young people now seem to be just as vulnerable in many instances. What does this say, or what does this augur for our educational outcomes for this year?
That's a really hard question, and one that I really cannot solve. I can only say that with every school that we are engaged in, that we do the very best for our children. And if in case what we have done, we have the hybrid model, but I also purchased a camera which travels all around the classroom so that those children that are outside, those children that are not at school, are the ones who can see from home. They can see daily instruction. So we are still benchmarking, still testing our children with our in-house tests. My biggest problem to me would be for us to be pushed to the standardized test at this PSSA, because that, I think, is going to be quite a challenge with giving that test.
I mean, no one envies the situation that you and your fellow administrators and teachers are facing in all of our schools throughout the city. Let me give you the last word before we take our break. I know there's going to be a meeting of ministers who are concerned about this. I know that the school district is meeting about it. Do you foresee a workable short-term solution within the next week or two, or do you think that we're going to be wrestling with this for the next month or so?
To be a workable situation, you need to have the charter school leaders in the room as well, because that's something that did not happen prior. All I got was a letter that said, "Hey, this is the bus route." If you wanted to really collaborate, we're never in the room to be able to come to decisions. We're just given edicts, and that's not part of what should happen if we're all dealing with the children in this city, public school children who go to charter schools and public school children who go to district schools, and they have the right to the best education, and we all are supposed to be doing that together. So when you ask me what's the workable solution, the only way I can see it happening is if we're in the room.
Well, and I did not know that you weren't. That is something that we're looking forward to. What we'll do is check back next week, and I want to thank you so much for your work and the commitment that you have lived and demonstrated for trying to educate our children. Dr. Naomi Johnson Booker, the CEO of Global Leadership Academies, and also a member of the African American Charter School Coalition, speaking to us about the plight of particularly our charter schools, but our children in general in this shortage of bus drivers in the city of Philadelphia. Dr. Booker, all the best to you, and I'll talk to you again soon.
You've been listening to WURD Radio On Demand. Listen live to WURD Radio 96.1.